For this game to be at the level visually I want it to be at, I'm gonna have to learn how to make some pixel art. So we're gonna be focusing on pixel art today and trying to make my first ever pixel art piece. I've never made any type of pixel art before. I haven't even tried. I have got a background in painting, so I hope that helps, but I know that painting is very different from making pixel art. Previously, before I even started programming as my profession, I was a games artist, so I know how to paint and make 3D assets and stuff, but I've never actually tried to make any pixel art. I usually do like portraits and things of that nature. This is going to be so important for my game. I could delegate that task to somebody else, but I feel like if I want to have the full experience of creating a game, then I have to at least try and make some pixel art and see how it goes. I might be decent at it. I don't think I will be, because looking at some stuff that I've already seen, it seems very tedious and difficult in general. But that's the task today, is to gather some reference, find our own image. I might take an image of something and then create some pixel art from that using the references that I have. I could watch some tutorials like I did last week, but this one I kind of want to just tackle myself because I just want to see how it will go. And hopefully by making my first piece, I can consistently start making pixel art and gradually get better at it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just gather some references, probably on Pinterest, and then I'm going to start from there, and then I'm going to move on to the creation process. I found an incredible artist on Twitter called Minimoss. This GIF right here is exactly what I visualize when I think about my game. Just the way that they've got the plants at this window garden and just how alive it looks, and even the rain outside. This is essentially how I would want the style for my game to be. If I had one example for what the style of my game is going to be and the aesthetic that it's going to show, is basically this image here. I'm going to use this as one of the main inspirations for what I'm going to do today, alongside the images that I have, and trying to create something a little bit original. Not original, but you know what I mean. This is like the best reference that I could have possibly found, so this is going to be amazing to start with. So now I've got like a really good reference. I wanted to show you my mood board. Usually in anything that I do related to art, I always like to create a mood board, and these are just from Pinterest. So I've just got a bunch of images here of pixel art that I can use as a reference. As I mentioned previously, I've never made pixel art before, so getting references is super important to me. It doesn't mean that the overall result of this whole thing is going to be fantastic, but I like to get references so in case I get lost in terms of painting plants or how things look visually, I like to do this. But yeah, these are all the images that I've got right now from Pinterest, and I think this is a good start. So the image that I'm going to be painting is this image right here, and I think this is nice and basic, just a window and a plant in the center. I feel like this is simple enough for me to tackle as my first pixel art piece. I don't want it to be a one-to-one in terms of realistic look, so this might change a lot. It's just a nice reference for me to use, and I've already done some of the line drawings that I'm gonna put into Sprite, which is just a pixel art software that I found that is really good. So I'm gonna be learning that as well along the way. The point of the line art is to just make it easier for me to add base colors. This isn't the greatest line drawing in the world, but again, it's just to keep things very simple. As you can see, it's just a nice little reference off the original image here. I'm trying to keep it very similar to how I normally make my art in general, whether that's 3D, whether that's 2D, but I'm trying to take it in that same direction. The actual technique of making pixel art is completely different, so that's the part that I'm really excited about. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this line art that I have, that I've just showed you, I'm going to put it into Sprite, and then I'm just going to start adding the base colors and winging it and seeing what happens. I've got a bunch of reference images of how some windows and plants look, so I'm going to use those as I'm working, but I'm going to check in whilst I'm working and see if I can make anything out of this. But this is my first attempt. I don't expect it to be the best thing in the world, but I just want to see what I can do just with the current skills that I have. So let's go. I'm liking the direction, but I'm not quite satisfied. I think I can do better than this. Let's see. I've decided to take a break and just use a reference of a plant in my living room because I just don't think it looks good right now. So I'm just going to take a picture of this and hopefully this is going to help me make the plant look a little bit better. This is so much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Just having something as basic as a scene like this. But I guess it's part of the learning process. I'm just gonna make this plant and then I'm gonna continue working on the background scene. So this is what we have so far. I wanted to add something to the background such as like mountains or a cityscape, something like that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. Oh mate, there's been a big time skip here because I had to change the plant and the plant pot again because I just didn't like how this is looking. This is so difficult, honestly. But yeah, I had to change it from this because I just didn't like the plant pot and whatever was going on here. Even the framing I didn't really like a lot. But I guess this looks a tiny bit better, but I don't know. I think I did an okay job considering this is my first ever pixel art piece and I decided to make a whole scene like this. I give myself a 4 out of 10 on this attempt. This is definitely going to be a journey for me and I just have to keep making pixel art every single day. That's the only way that I'm going to improve. So that's the task now, is every week of development I have to make at least one pixel art piece. I think that will genuinely help me, even if it's weeks where I'm programming or planning. Making at least one piece is definitely going to help. If there's any pixel art experts out there, just drop something in the comment section for me to read on how you improved, because I know it's just repetition and practice, but it'll be interesting to know if anybody else has been on the pixel art creation journey that's struggled or found ways to make it a lot easier for themselves. pixel art is difficult and it takes time, just like any other thing, to get good at. So that's what I'm going to be focused on. But so far, so good.